You're recording?
Yeah.
So say stuff. Anyway, so yeah, Brad Binder, he was a box office, he did this, he achieved that, he did this, but then he did that, and there was a small fire and a kid. Hello and welcome to another Talking MotoGP with myself, Robert Portman. This is Donovan Fury. He's a bit of a fat fuck, but fuckers don't answer.
We'll do a run and recording. Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking MotoGP. We have three amazing Shui Marc Marquez helmets. What do you think, Don?
Marc Marquez, yes, he's ant. We stand on him.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Talking MotoGP with myself, Rob Portman, and Donovan Free. Last week we had special guests, the Scorpion range of helmets. This week we got the brand new Shui Expert 3 models, and these are the beautiful Marc Marquez replicas. So nice, beautiful matte finish. This is a limited edition one. This is his actual replica, and this is the Motegi limited edition helmet that he wore last year. So Don wants one, being a huge Marquez fan.
They come with the helmet with the, it's cycling helmet. That's where this came from. You see those high-speed cycling things.
Yeah, where it's got that shape.
They look like they're manning the Death Star, you know what I mean?
So that's why Marquez destroys everyone, because he's got that extra piece on the back. So these are the beautiful helmets. We are at World of Yamaha. If you haven't been to the World of Yamaha,
and that's why there's a lot of noise.
That's why there's people all over the place, and there's beautiful Yamaha bikes in the background. But get to World of Yamaha, you can check out the full range of Yamaha marine bikes, whatever you want, including the music equipment as well. And then if you go to the concept store, if you're a Rossi or a Vinales fan, that is where you want to be.
Not if you're a Marquez fan.
No, if you're a Marquez fan,
don't go there.
Do not go there.
You can buy Shui helmets though.
Let's put these down so that you can see our beautiful faces and our beautiful physiques.
Okay, so there was a MotoGP.
There was a MotoGP race.
There was one
from Sepang.
Sepang, Malaysia. Yes.
Malaysia. But it started off.
Yes.
Before we even got into the race, with the qualifying session on the Saturday morning. So.
Yes.
Little topic that we're going to talk about here. I'm a big Marc Marquez fan. I love all the MotoGP riders, but I'm a big Marquez fan. But what I don't like is this tagging onto people to get a fast lap. Now we've seen Marquez do it this year more so than ever. He's tagged onto Vinales, he's tagged onto Rossi, he's done it to Dovi. And initially I thought it was just and it is kind of a tactic to play with their minds so that they can, upset their rhythm and whatever. But the blatancy of it in Sepang, I didn't enjoy.
Yeah, I've got a bit of a story for you. Okay? It's kind of this whole incident highlighted many different aspects of not just MotoGP, the fans, human nature, everything like that. I'm going to start with you remember you occasionally race.
We've done competitive racing
nowadays. We have done like competitive racing many years. Now I remember when you were racing. Okay, you were in it. You're on this bike. You're going. There's someone in front of you, and you're trying to catch them.
Yes.
And you're pushing like hell, lap after lap, to catch this bastard. And you're pushing.
And he's just not making mistakes.
Yeah. And then he makes a mistake, loses the front, and goes tumbling off into the gravel trap. What is your first reaction? Be honest now.
No, I don't want to say not proudly, because it is at that point it was proud. But you cheer.
No.
Yes.
You are like, you bastard, you went down. Yes. That is all you're thinking. At no point are you thinking, oh, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, oh shame.
No, you just in that moment you don't think that
way. That's the competitive edge.
But kind of at that moment you're not having conscious thoughts. You're having, this is just instinct. This is what your natural reaction is. And I mean, it's sort of justified in a way. It's human
nature.
reaction. Okay. Now, when Marquez went down in
Q2.
In Q2,
Q1.
I saw a video actually. A guy was videoing on his phone in the grandstand. Tens of thousands of people. He went down, the entire audience, the crowd in the grandstand went, yay!
All wearing yellow.
Not even. I mean, just generally people.
MotoGP fans.
Now, okay. Two things I love about that. Okay. Now a lot of people are going to say, how can you love that? All right. Just like when you're like in the heat of the racing, you're racing hard, you're pushing hard, people are making noise in the background. But when you're pushing hard, the same with the fans. You're watching this, you're watching it, you're into it. You're kind of you're like devoted to it. You're
passionate about it.
You are in this. Your rider's doing this.
Your life,
And then the opposition crashes. without even thinking, without even doing anything.
Your initial reaction is to cheer.
It was actually two reactions. Yeah. There's the initial one, yay, and then you got to kind of look and go, oh, I hope he's okay.
Yeah,
Otherwise I'm going to look like a real dickhead. Oh no, he stood up. Yay! You bastard, go down, go down, go down. Obviously, if he gets loaded into a helicopter, then you kind of go, oh.
Yeah.
I'm not terrible.
Now I feel bad.
Okay. But yeah, okay. And you've got all these people that always forever criticize, guys who cheer when riders go down. But I'm just like, no, actually, in a way, it's good because people are that kind of into it. They're
passionate.
that kind of. And the only people who are not doing that are either supporters of the rider who went down or people who don't give a stuff. You're not kind of into
But you know what it is? It's the same with football. You cheer when your team scores or when the other team's best player gets injured. You cheer. It's just, like you said, it's that passion coming out.
It's passion coming out.
I think it's amplified because it's Marquez and the way he's dominated. People are just like...
It is, but okay, this is
yes,
amplified.
Finally,
I'm going to say in those crowds, okay, in Malaysia on that day. Now, set the scene because people don't seem to always quite understand. Let's just say it's a lesson in human nature. So Marquez goes out behind Quartararo. Quartararo is on a Petronas Yamaha. It's a Malaysian team. It is the home team of the people. Okay, Quartararo is French, but that team is Malaysian. And
but also Quartararo is becoming the next
and people like Quartararo. I mean, he's cool. He's French and he smiles and he's a bit goofy and he's really fast. You like it.
Yeah.
So beyond that, and I mean for the crowd there, it's their home team. And Quartararo, and then Marquez goes right out and he sits not just kind of like that, but he's here.
Blatant.
And when Quartararo is looking back like this, no, he just sits there. This guy, the highest paid rider on the grid, already a world champion on the most expensive bike on the grid, specially built for him, and he's sitting there behind this little privateer rookie. That's just bullying. That's what that is. It's bullying. And people look at that, go, who's this arsehole? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he falls down, and the natural action is...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Because of the whole situation is why people also cheer. Because, coming back to my point, I'm a big Marquez fan in that, but I hate that. Yeah. Now, my question to you is, well, first of all, it's just due. Like I said, I also don't want to see a rider get injured in that, but the fact that he isn't, I'm going to now go and say, for me, it was... You reap what you sow, because don't do that shit. And if you want to do that, that's what's going to happen, because it was cold tire.
Yeah, it was a cold tire.
You want to slow down that much, you're going to pay the price. But my second argument now is, so in Moto3 and Moto2, the riders get banned. We see them get grid penalties all the time for slowing down and trying to follow a rider in Moto2 and Moto3. So why blatantly on live TV, I mean Moto2 and Moto3 is not even live during the practice sessions, qualifying live, it's as blatant as anything. Marquez and Crutchlow, and Crutchlow. So why don't they get grid penalties or...
There's a rule, I don't quite get all this. There's a rule, each track is separated into 4 sectors.
Yes.
If you are slow for 2 of the sectors, you're okay. If you're slow for 3 or more, then you've got a grid penalty.
Okay.
And Quartararo was clever. He toyed with Marquez for only 2 sectors.
Okay.
And the rest of it he sort of gunned it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But
I also don't quite get it. I mean, if you ride grinding slowly anywhere on the track...
But I mean, the reason why Quartararo was riding slowly was because he had Marquez and Crutchlow wanting to tag him. Surely the panel should look at that and go, listen, Marquez, that's unsportsmanship in my view. You shouldn't be able to do that. There should be a rule where you are, if it's blatant like that, it was just blatant. It was there for everyone to see. You should not be able to do that.
Here's the funny thing. Afterwards, Marquez in his comments said, he sat in pit lane, he was like, yeah, well, hey, the Marquez smiles like this, I was in pit lane. I didn't want to follow Quartararo.
I was looking for another rider.
But then no. What happened? And everybody saw this. He was sitting in pit lane on his bike, ready to go with his team, and they were all staring at Quartararo. And the moment Quartararo got his leathers on, come on.
It was blatant, and you could see that Marquez still sat right behind Quartararo. Hopefully that Quartararo would turn around and not see him, so he was trying to be in that point of vision where he couldn't see him.
Quartararo sees it, he just knows calm. He looks at him like,
listen, you got what you deserve, Marquez. Don't do that, cock. And if you do, you're going to land on your...
Don't tell me, rider falling. No, shut up.
You're fast enough to, like I said, if you got to the point where you need to follow a rookie around to get a fast lap time, just go do it yourself, man. I hate that. It grinds me. Anyway, let's talk about Quartararo quickly. He goes, he blitzes the all-time lap record, the fastest motorcycle around Sepang officially. Then he comes into the race. Myself, a lot of people have him as the third favorite. Gets a cock start and just stays in 7th place. Like, is this the downfall of the Quattraro? This is where I think he's not going to be able to challenge over a season because he hasn't. He seems to have this emotion that comes into play that when it's not going his way, he throws his toys out the cot and he can't go faster. But that's what's going to hold him back from potentially being a world champion. And that's why he's not a world champion.
I have a theory, and obviously I can't prove anything. They also said it was very much hotter on the Sunday, maybe that toyed with it. But I have a bit of a theory, and it's actually a rookie error. Because, we saw this a lot when Marquez first joined MotoGP, he used to do this. And, a few of the others, Vinales, all of them. What they do is during practice, so it's 2 days of practice, they spend a lot of the time going out with empty fuel tanks and the bike on full power, new tires.
On soft.
Because you see Quattraro, he's doing fast runs of 3 or 4 laps.
Every time, yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're all fast. 2 seconds a lap faster than race pace.
Yeah.
You don't do that when you've got a worn set of tires or a full fuel tank or your bike is on race mode. Remember, full power mode. Yeah, if you put your bike on full power, it won't finish the race.
You're going to run out of fuel.
So full power mode used in qualifying, and maybe if you
want to go for a hot lap,
if you conserved enough fuel in the race, but you don't. So he keeps going out doing these really, really hot laps. On presumably empty fuel tank, new tires. You look across at the likes of Rossi, Marquez, Dovizioso, those sort of guys. Marquez usually goes out beginning of the session, does a blitz lap, and then spends the rest of the time
focusing on race pace. Yeah.
Worn tires, full tank of fuel, all that. Same with, sometimes Valentino Rossi doesn't even get a chance to go through the Q2 just because he spent so much time stuffing around on race pace. If he's not happy with his race pace, he'll stay working on it and will forget about qualifying. And Dovizioso the same. He never comes anywhere during practice, but in the race he's much faster. Then Quattraro now, he spent the whole time, he's an expert at empty fuel tank, full race power, new tires. Now suddenly he's lumped with a 20-litre fuel tank. That's like strapping 9 2-litre Coke bottles of water.
On the bike.
Strap 9 2-litre Coke bottles of water on the bike. That's the difference. Now suddenly you're lumped with this, and then worn tires, and everything like us.
Everything changes.
And suddenly you're like, I can't ride this thing. So that's my sort of theory, but that's a rookie mistake. It doesn't mean it's he's not. When he learns to kind of forget about qualifying and not spend so much time working on it, then I think he'll be really good.
But this is maybe the other argument because people say, how can riders like Rins?
Someone's playing the piano.
Someone's playing the piano. How the guys like Rins, Joan Mir, Dovi to an extent this year aren't able to get a fast lap time or able to make the soft tire work in qualifying to get a fast lap time. And like you said, maybe the swivel point of that is that they've spent so much time on a full tank of fuel, medium tires in race conditions that when they put the soft tire on in a low fuel tank, now they go, oh geez, no.
Yeah, they're not really practiced.
Your brake markers,
the Suzuki's, this is Mir and Rins, they seem to struggle on a new tire.
Very much.
And this is just a Suzuki problem. They don't quite work on a new tire as well.
Yeah.
I remember Brad Binder when he first joined Moto2. He was really quick as soon as the tire started wearing. But on a new tire, and interestingly enough, it's because the rear has too much grip. And that sounds like a problem, but you roll on and it just pushes the front.
And it bucks and weaves the whole bike.
I remember Binder always said that once the rear starts wearing, then it spins.
And he's in control.
Yeah, now he can use it to steer through the corner. So he's actually faster on a tire that spins. Get that.
I want to talk quickly about so the Quattraro. I think he needs to sort out a bit of racecraft, like you said. Look at the whole weekend as opposed to fast lap times in each practice session or qualifying. Yamahas worked really well around Sepang.
Yes,
and
provided you didn't get stuck behind a Ducati.
This is what I was going to say. It was such a pity, and it again just highlighted the only problem that seems to be that the Yamaha seems to have now is that horsepower, because everywhere else it seems to be working perfectly now.
Rossi was behind Dovizioso in his slipstream. He was 12 kilometers per hour slower.
In a slipstream.
It's just ridiculous. That is just.
And Shane, Rossi was, Rossi kind of rewound 10, 15 years to where he was taking those chances. I love that onboard where he came into the hairpin and he just comes from nowhere, puts on the inside, runs wide, but he was trying. I
like what Dovizioso said. He said Rossi was behind me, but I was okay with that because I know Rossi. He'll push hard, but he knows nothing stupid. But you see Rossi, he'll go up the inside, but he always leaves like a lot of
little bit of
room for
room.
the other riders. And I look at, and we can get to Jean Mir in a second.
Yeah.
Jean Mir and Alex Rins.
Yeah.
Marquez had a bit of a
Miller.
bump with Miller also. You go up the inside, and if you can't make it, well,
It's going to take out the nearest guy to me. You know what Rossi should have done, and this is going to cause, please don't come kill my dogs or do anything to my house. Rossi should have done the Sepang kick. To beat Dobby. He should have just come in that right hand and given him a little boot. Down goes Dobby and third place.
I know, there we go. What could
And it's
possibly
legal.
go wrong? You know what I mean?
Talking about that, while we're on that topic, before we get to Vinales and the Yamahas, the Zarco. So Zarco's going really well, up in 9th place on the LCR, ahead of Crutchlow, ahead of Lorenzo. Eat my words a little bit because I said from Phillip Island, where he didn't really impress me, he actually did a really good job. Still not as good as he can be, but limited time. But he was up in the mix until a Suzuki. Look, that was blatant. That was blatant.
I don't know. It's okay. It's just one of these things that happens.
Rookie.
You know what I mean?
And he still comes out and said, I shouldn't have got a penalty because I'm a rookie.
Okay, yeah, right. No, you deserve that. You deserve
your
that. Should have been a ride-through. Speaking of ride-through.
But here, this is my argument now with this. I'm going to take it on. So, in Sepang, there were a couple of instances where guys took, like hard moves, like you said, bashing oaks out of the way. Phillip Island, Lackawanna, first lap of Moto2, comes into the Honda hairpin, takes out Marini and Bezzecchi. And they still hug afterwards and everything's fine in Italy. My argument here, all those riders get an immediate long lap penalty, which is the rule. So you've done something wrong, we're going to slap you on the wrist, long lap penalty. Cool, they all do it. A certain Mr. Darren Binder in Thailand takes out Aaron Canet, does his long lap penalty because that's the rule, that's what he thinks, but they give him a ride-through penalty through the pits.
Yes, because they're racist.
South African racist.
Yeah, because he's African, so therefore they're being prejudiced against South Africa. That's racist.
But how does that work? So how does Darren get a ride-through penalty, which is your race destroyed because that pit lane takes a minute to get through, whereas everyone else on the entire planet, for harsher moves, I mean, Lackawanna and Phillip Island, that was like attempted murder, and he gets a long lap penalty.
Probably political. I mean, it's Aaron Canet and this Binder, the whole of Spain is jumping up and down.
Yeah, that I must say that
Barcelona's on the phone, the king is on the phone.
I had a couple of people tell me it's because it was Darren Binder and after his repeat offences, they did
but
that.
then they should have. Okay, but I mean consistency. The first time he does it, give him the ride through.
Yeah, come on. Anyway, that irritated. I just wanted to highlight that to get you people thinking about that because that was completely wrong in my point of view. Let's get back to Vinales, who dominated this weekend. Again, he did the whole race pace thing. I'm looking at the bigger picture, which is the race, and dominated. Now, heading into 2020, if we can get that Marquez on that Yamaha with an extra 15, 20 horsepower.
Vinales.
I mean, is Vinales, can we finally call Vinales, sorry, Vinales, not Marquez.
Yeah.
Can we finally call Vinales a serious, proper title contender?
I mean, as we see now, when everything's going right for Vinales, he's fast. He's ridiculously fast.
No one can touch him.
No one can touch him. However, when things go a little bit wrong, then he's in trouble.
He can't make it work. He can't come back from that.
He can't make it work.
But he's looked good the last 3 or 4 races.
And I think they've got it kind of sorted out.
Yeah,
I think they've got it kind of sorted out. If they can give that bike a little bit more power, but it's all a trade-off. If you give the bike more power, it loses some of its flow. They've got to make it more stable, and then it loses some of its mid-corner thing, and then the bike doesn't turn as well, and then
this is my argument though. The Yamahas throughout the year couldn't work in hot conditions,
and now it's hot and it is. But they fixed a lot. I mean, what I find interesting is that Rossi didn't suffer with his tire problem.
His fade.
He was fast throughout the race, which is kind of interesting. He set the fastest lap of the race also.
He did. That's the first time since 2016 or something. Sorry, that he's had the fastest lap of a race.
Motorcycles are still made of wood. The thing is, and he said something interesting. He got stuck behind Dovizioso, and he actually said, well, if he could get past Dovizioso early enough, he would have challenged. He could have gone with Marquez. I kind of believe it, and I mean, also now you look at him and Dovizioso. I mean, Dovizioso, they came into the straight, he was gone. Dovizioso is also famously good on the brakes.
But on the brakes, you cannot outbrake him.
All the braking points Rossi had, he was just too far back. Behind. And through all the flowing bits where you can't overtake, he's right there getting held up.
That's why I said I was impressed that Rossi still tried at least. I mean, he has a 40-year-old man on a Yamaha that's not
Bali.
Bali, and he was still just shoving it on the inside, and he got it loose. And I just hope Yamaha can sort it
when
out.
Rossi comes to South Africa, everyone's going to call it Boom.
Yeah, I think when he comes to South Africa, we need to call him Worm. I like that. Other touching points, just go back to Phillip Island again, and we're going to talk about this supreme talent that is Mr. Brad Binder. Okay, but I want to talk about Phillip Island quickly. There was a stat that Sheridan Morais actually gave to me, and I posted it on the Ride Fast Facebook group and the MotoGP South Africa supporters group. The comparison lap times of Brad Binder on a Moto2 Triumph 765 road bike, pretty much, with a couple of race bits thrown at it, compared to Jorge Lorenzo, who, by the way, 34 seconds away in Sepang, his best race of the year. In 14, he beat Nicky Palio on a KTM, so well done, Lorenzo. But lap times comparison, the last 7 or 8 laps in Phillip Island, Brad Binder matched or beat Jorge Lorenzo on a full factory championship winning HRC Brazilian Rand motorcycle, and Brad Binder on his road bike.
It's brilliant.
Is that Lorenzo being completely useless, or Brad just being
Lorenzo said his back tire disappeared on the second lap. So
that's what happens if you can't run any tire other than a soft.
Yeah, it's true. Lorenzo, as you said, actually though, I mean, he was nowhere in Sepang again. However, he finished 14th after about 23 riders crashed. However, the important stat, he was 34 seconds behind the leader, and that's the best he's done. I mean, that's the closest he's been. So
improvements are coming.
Let's see.
But before we get on to the Binder brilliance, this whole Zarco Lorenzo thing, what's going to happen there? Is Lorenzo going to get booted or leave the Honda team, and Zarco's going to take that ride, or is Zarco just grasping at straws here, trying to get that ride?
I don't think Honda will boot Lorenzo. It's kind of bad form.
Okay.
Alberto Puig would get rid of him right now.
The Japanese don't do that. Yeah.
He would phone him and say, pack your stuff, get out right now, because that's
not that politely.
Mr. and I don't know his name.
Yakamoto Suzuki's son. Everyone in Japan seems to be. There's a head of Aprilia, head of Yamaha, which is Mr. Suzuki. And there's a head of Honda, which is a Mr. Suzuki.
I know.
And then there's a head of Suzuki, which is Mr. Yakatomo.
Mr. Suzuki. Yeah, but I mean, okay, but I don't think the Japanese would do that.
Yeah, they don't do that.
Yeah, they hired Marquez and they hired Puig. They've been wankerish enough.
You have to throw that in there.
Okay, that would just be like the final straw.
Okay, but can you see Zarco taking that seat?
I think it's down to Lorenzo, first of all.
The pressure getting to him.
Yeah, if Lorenzo, I think Lorenzo will do Valencia. He will do the Valencia test.
And take it from there.
And if he sits there after the Valencia test and he goes, I'm wasting my time, he will say, okay, Honda, look. And then I think that they should put Zarco there.
He's done enough to deserve it.
Yeah, he's done enough to deserve it. And who else would you put?
Yeah, well, there is no one else.
I mean, call up someone from Moto2.
Darren Binder.
No, Darren Binder.
Darren Binder. Okay, sticking with Moto2 quickly, Alex Marquez wraps up the title. Such a pity, because I'm going to Valencia. I wanted to see Brad Binder win the title. I was going to take all my clothes off and streak in Valencia. Chubby tattooed South African.
I think you should do that anyway.
No, what
Come
for?
on, no, do it.
No, what for? I was only going to do it. Okay,
I hope it's cold.
If Darren Binder wins, come Daz, win. I will take my clothes off. No, but I've got 2 kids. I'm happily married. I don't have to impress anyone anyway. If Darren Binder wins, I will take all my clothes off and streak in Valencia. Okay,
done. Darren, please win. Come on. Just take everyone else to the first corner and then win. All right. Okay, but Brad. He went out front. He made a mistake. He locked up the front wheel, went off the track, came back on in third. I was looking at the lap times. Now, when he came back onto the track, he was doing, in third, he was doing 206, low 206s. Everyone else was doing either high 206s or 207s. Okay. The other riders, Marquez and
Luti and Nakashima.
Nakashima, that's it. Or he said Nakagami.
No, Nakashima.
Okay, so he was doing low 206s. The moment he got ahead of Marquez,
with a beautiful move, by the way.
Yeah, he got ahead of Marquez, back into the lead. He went up to high 206s. Occasionally, he even went to like mid 207s. So he was toying with Marquez. He was toying with him. He was trying to kind of. I mean, Luti was in third. If Luti had overtaken Marquez, the race would have gone on to Valencia.
He was trying to do a doggy, slow the pace down and bring more riders in it.
He was at times a second and a half slower. And that does show 2 things. First of all, okay, but clever. You know what I mean? He didn't just
run away with it.
And the other thing is, he had so much pace that he was able to actually toy. And you saw Marquez when he got off the bike, he was exhausted. He had ridden the living daylights out of that thing, whereas Brad in front of him was sort of toy.
Because I mean, he smashed the lap record in the FP2 session or something, yeah, and he was fast. Him and Jorge Martin, who's also coming on song.
Yeah.
But like you said, for Brad to go and win the Moto2 race comfortably with so much more in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, we've always said Brad's good and how good he is, but how good is this kid actually?
Alex Marquez, you did everything right. I congratulate you.
And
You're a deserved world champion. You were not the best rider on the grid.
Yeah, that has to be said, because there was another stat. The last 6 races,
8 actually.
8 races or something.
They said 6. I worked it out.
8. So Brad would have won the championship. Well, he's like 80 points ahead of everyone else or something.
Well, okay. I mean, yeah. He on the last 8 races, he was on the podium for 4 of them. No, sorry, we won 4 of them. He was on the podium for 6. One of them was Motegi, where he
the back tire.
Dud back tire, and then one was Masana, where KTM just went.
Sorry, we didn't give you a goodbye.
Sorry, we forgot to give you a goodbye.
And he had that big crash on the first lap, so I think kind of that mentally played on him. But
so, and that was it. I mean, other than that, and I'm pretty sure Motegi probably could have either won or been on the podium again.
Martin was on the podium, and
but there were things like there was a dud rear tire.
The Bruno mistake.
The Bruno, where they bought this
rolled out the new bike.
They rolled out a chassis made of flipping cardboard. I don't know what it was, but it was rubbish.
Just didn't work.
He just didn't work, and he crashed. So that cost him. And then there was Kota, his clutch factor. So I mean, there were 3 races that weren't his fault. And that is that is over and above all the just having a crap bike for most of the year. And he's now currently, I think, is 28 points behind. So imagine he didn't have those misgivings, none of which were his fault. I'm not saying he would be winning, but
damn it! Yeah, move that curtain before
you know what I mean.
It's such a pity, but Brad has just proven his overall talent, and I cannot wait to get to Valencia. Check him out, not only in the Moto2 race, the final race of the year, but also that first day of MotoGP testing on a Tuesday.
I'm so jealous.
I know, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, everyone, but I don't care. I've just got my press pass.
You have no idea how jealous I am.
I've got my press pass.
If you're playing crashes, I'll be happy. I'll do a Marquez.
You're going to do this?
Yay!
Did you see this?
Hope he's okay. He's dead.
This bastard I have. So I'm going to bring you some really cool exclusive footage from the whole MotoGP weekend, from that MotoGP test. So look out for it on the Ride Fast magazine page. I'll post some on the MotoGP supporters page. I'll send some to Don.
Don't follow that page,
He's going to follow it.
MotoGP supporters South Africa group. Go there. It's good fun.
It is good fun.
And every now and again there's something intelligent said, not often.
Sometimes some rational
thoughts happen.
So look out for that. If you want to read the latest issue of Ride Fast magazine, it's in stores now. I had a threesome.
Yeah,
I had my Talking MotoGP column there, so everything I pretty much talk about on here, and then I just have to show you the dirty threesome that Donovan.
I had a dirty threesome.
He had a dirty threesome. How cool is that? That's Donovan playing in the dirt, having a threesome.
Only in Ride Fast magazine.
Only in Ride Fast magazine. So get that. It's in stores now. Remember, you can win a brand new Alvaro Bautista Scorpion helmet. But for this episode of Talking MotoGP, I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, send us some comments, send us whatever you want to that we can banter on. As soon as I get back from Valencia, we'll round out the season and talk about the MotoGP testing. That's going to be really good insight and interesting to see how the girls and guys go. There's no goals in MotoGP. Well, there are a couple of goals in MotoGP, we just won't name them.
Darren's quite cute.
Hope you enjoyed it. We'll chat after Valencia. Stay well.